All right, let's get this started.
Beneath the step pyramid, here with this giant box in a giant shaft. We have the rare opportunity of kind of being alone down here. Got Russ with me. Also getting his equipment out.
Getting his stuff together.
But yeah, so you travel down through all of these passages. You can see some of the construction methodology. Where is it? Let me try and get it right. There it is. So that giant shaft, they cut this shaft.
Giant shaft, you say?
On an angle and then backfilled it. And they would have hit like strong layers of limestone. Do you see this? So once they cut down and they hit these big strong layers of limestone, those became the roof blocks for their different levels. And there are multiple levels. There's a whole other level, multiple levels down below. You get down to the 5th level, which is the secret level right now down the ladder.
Top secret.
And in a corner of that, there's a shaft that goes down into water. So we know there's deeper levels, but the groundwater kind of gets in the way. But what we're going to do is step down into one of the passages here.
That's crazy looking.
And these go off and connect, and they have a grid-like structure. Lots of galleries and magazines full of stuff that obviously where they found a lot of the vases and vessels, but they were robbed and cut into with robbers' tunnels like these that connected them. And there's multiple levels of these up and down.
You hear how quiet it got? Wow.
We get down to here, and you see there's a whole bunch of the stone. Alas, poor Yorick. We knew him well. Lots of alabaster. This is alabaster, this is alabaster. You can see all the limestone. These passages continue. Fragments of hard stone here. I don't even know what that is. Plastic, I think. Fragments of vessels. Stuff like this. Super thin. Really well made. And, of course, there's more of it. More, this was the 70, 80 tons of this was pulled up out of here and between the step pyramid and the southern shaft.
That is a lot.
You see tubular drills and stuff. You see other pieces like this one where it has, machined square corners. Things like that. And then kind of the real treasure is down here. All of the vase fragments where I show people the physical, tactile evidence for that tale of two industries, particularly as it applies to vases, but of course then you can extrapolate it and apply it to all the other artifacts. But as you go over the back here, let me zoom in a little bit. No. There we go. You can see
Bit blurry.
all of the vases and piles and piles and piles of this stuff. I mean, of course, there were 50,000 odd vases found down here. Between 40 and 50,000 is the numbers that I've heard.
Why are they all down
But
there?
quite the treasure trove of pieces. Just some remarkable artifacts down here. Let's have a look. So, some of these are really quite cool. Like this is probably porphyry. Little fragment. Check this piece out. There's a really small little piece here that, look how thin that is. Within, probably 2 millimeters. And it's,
Wow.
it has that tapered lip. You can see the edge of the vessel. This is probably a very thin bowl or something like that. Even marble. Seems that they had vessels made of marble. This piece here seems to be...
Whoa.
Where's the orientation? This way. So it's like a translucent marble or alabaster vessel. Has the
Almost
has
looks
the
like
tube
a
drill
skull.
in the center. Rock crystal. Rock crystal, again, part of a thin vessel, so they were making stuff out of rock crystal. There's actually a couple pieces of rock crystal here. Quite remarkable. And then, like other things I like to show people, and these fragments, like this one.
Wow.
Almost a whole vase, like probably half a vase here, but it has the lug handles, no hole.
Those are pretty popular. Danny Jones loves these things.
In the lug handle, and then see if we can capture this, but you see the very thin radius underneath that lip on the top. Hopefully it's focusing. And then on the other side too, like the super thin radii underneath the top here. So it's this very thin lip that's been run around there, and it's a very consistent radius or curvature. It's definitely the result of a machine tool. And then of course you see on all of these, and this one has it as well, in the bottom there, there's the tubular drill, like the mark from a tube drill, the first part that cut it out. See the tube drill in the bottom there? See the tube drill in the bottom there? This is a great piece too, very thin bowl. It has, and I always appreciate finding fragments like this that have the entire diameter. Like it runs from center to the lip here. You see the actual curvature of the lip. So it's quite precious. You have more examples like that. But what's interesting here is really the tale of two industries, because it's not just the hardstone vessels that are found down here. Obviously, it's the alabaster industry too, the one that was created by Imhotep. And you see the result of it right here. Like you see this big vessel. In fact, it's in all of these little alabaster vessels. There's no tube drill in the center. You've got thin, you've got thick, you've got, it's waviness. If you take pieces like this, which were part of, these tall vessels that were made from alabaster, and you run your hand down it, you can just tactilely sense and feel it's not consistent. It's got all these waves up and down. It's just it's what you would expect from handmade. Like a handmade is totally, you can feel this, like just the dips in the finishing here. Totally what you'd expect from handmade work like that, which is exactly the process that Imhotep created in order to replicate the older and much more precise hardstone vessels. So yeah, you have, again, here's another example. So you can see it's thin on one side, let me hold it up. So it's thin on one side, it's thick on the other. This one, if you actually put it down here, like the base isn't flat. You can see it's not, it's not particularly well made. I mean, it's what you get as a result of handwork. And it's a massive contradiction and just comparison point to all of these other fragments that you see shattered around here and scattered around here. Where's my tapering piece? The piece I really like to show that has a significant taper to it, because you can compare and contrast. Here it is. No, I mean, this is an example. This is a good example, but where is it? This one here, I think. So here's a good example of what I'm talking about. So there's the flat base, right? So you have to orient it this way. And if you look at it from here, see how it goes from thick at the bottom to thin at the top? Like it tapers. And it's extremely consistent taper. Like that tapering from thickness to thinness, at least when we've measured them on other vases.
I feel like I've been watching this for an hour already. When you measure the
wall thickness around a certain height in a vase, you use precision calipers. I mean, most of the time you're talking within a thousandth or two thousandths of an inch in terms of being consistent. And then sometimes it's very thin.
Very cool, very boring.
Very thin material. Not always. Some of these get quite thick. I mean, here's another one. Like here's the outside of it. Look at the size of that.
That's
chunky boy. Like he's quite thick, but you have the same thing on this one. So the very consistent radius underneath this lip that's been cut into it. This does taper, even though it doesn't taper down to super thin. And then you have other examples, even bigger stuff like this. Like, let's have a look. Let's see. Whoop, gimbal limit reached. So lift him up.
Dang, that's a big vase
So,
or vase,
yeah, it's a
whatever
big
you
old
want to
vase,
call it.
but heavy. You get a sense for just how solid the stone is. So, it's a great thing to show people when we get the special permission to come down here and give them an example of a tactile example, if you like, of the Tale of Two Industries. But it's just always a privilege to get down beneath the step pyramid and show this. I think the step pyramid was built on top of, pre-existing subterranean infrastructure. It was certainly done by Djoser
Interesting.
and Imhotep. You can see it in the construction. There's nothing particularly sophisticated other than the logistical achievement. I mean, the step pyramid still is 450,000 tons of work. Like, that's no joke, but doable. And you can see a sense for it here.
There's the shaft.
The roof.
The roof of the shaft.
That's the base of the pyramid with the wood.
Base.
The first carbon dated thing ever, really.
Oh, man.
And it spans this giant pit. A pit that also happens to be replicated along with another 32-piece granite box over at the southern shaft. And then there's another shaft at the front of Winesis Pyramid that's very much like this one.
Knew it.
It also seems to have the lid of a giant box on it. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll be back in the studio soon making some content.
I enjoyed it.
Enjoy.
A little boring, but very cool. Please get off of there.
So the American Southwest is arguably the most evocative landscape states. The arid perfectly preserves the ruins, and the ancient cities can be built on a scale the Mesoamerican cultures such as the Maya or the Zapotec.
Wow, that's really cool. I wish he wasn't playing music, but that's the way it is.
Mesas and pueblos that were built alongside a huge river that's completely dried up in the last 1,000 years, making an expedition to find these now lost cities
Wow. Very cool. Whoop-de-woo. I can't stand when these guys play music because it makes it impossible to really live stream this stuff or do anything without getting a copyright. So
overnight, everything collapsed and the people disappeared, leaving the ruins of their once great cities to sit in silence for centuries. Now, if you go to the
very cool, very cool. Not very interested in it, actually. I lose interest as soon as I start hearing music. Um,
From a real witch threatening a man to a poltergeist phenomena affecting military. The top-ranked videos that will make you tremble.
Interesting.
One morning, a man heard his dogs barking incessantly for several minutes. He find himself in the following situation.
I've seen this before.
Watch.
Need you leave now. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna let them out.
Let
It's
them
midnight.
dogs
What are you
out.
doing here?
Let them out. Ho, ho, ho. They're gonna get you, you witchy bitchy motherfudger.
You are agitating my dogs. I told you late at night my guard dogs are out, and they're out.
They They are out.
I'm not gonna be babysitting.
Not babysitting your punk ass. Nope.
I just came to bless you and your dog.
You need to leave now. You need to leave now. I'm letting them out. Don't come any closer. I'm gonna let them out.
You don't have to let them out.
I'm gonna let them out.
Don't do that.
They're here and they're waiting.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna get. There's no one around. This is my place.
Oh, she's gone. She ditched the scene. Didn't even hear her take off with her sneakers.
She disappeared. What the hell?
Put a flashlight on her. See right there? It's like she has some kind of sneakers on, probably. Probably not a witch.
That just seconds later, the woman mysteriously disappeared, never to be seen again.
Still very weird, regardless. But witch? I don't know witches that wear gym shoes. Maybe those aren't gym shoes. Maybe those are buckles. Who knows? Shoot.
Which harmless sounds outside the establishment he was guarding. Two figures, two human silhouettes standing perfectly still.
Alright, let's see these two perfect human silhouettes. I don't see nothing unless if that's the ghost right there. Remember the Conjuring scene? I think it's the last, no, not the last try. It's the one before that. That one made me do it. They're all standing in the field. Only he can see it, or something like that. It's kind of what that looks like. And they're gone.
Corporeal figures, motionless, looking towards the enclosure.
That is strange. There is no denying those are people standing there, or figures of some kind that look very humanoid, probably demonic. Hate to break it to you, but it's real, man.
Played tricks on them. However, those figures look too defined.
Yeah. I don't trust it. That is creepy.
Of intelligent shadows reacting to light. Something that, according to recordings, they have any intention of leaving.
Okay, I've seen this before. This family has like a haunted house. I've seen these guys before, actually.
First cases we analyze here on the channel.
Ah.
What we see in that footage is the kind of phenomena that needs no explanation.
Yeah. No explanation needed. The door opened.
Things have not improved, but quite the opposite. They have worsened with much greater intensity.
If I'm not mistaken, this is like a whole series. This guy has a channel.
possession.
That's probably what it was
One
just
of the
showing.
most viral videos shows a moment that left thousands of people speechless.
Alright, let's see. What the? What's like sleep paralysis, but awake? What the hell? That is not real. What the heck?
In
His
years
entire freaking
agitated
face
after
changed.
his glasses happened
Oh,
seconds
that's
later,
what happened?
after his body is subdued by something
I did not
unseen.
even realize
His
that's what happened.
expression drastically changes, his face transforming into a completely different form, as if another entity were emerging from within.
I don't know. That looks like CGI. I don't know about that.
As carefully is the following.
I
The
don't know
daughter,
about that.
by the recent attacks and protests, decided to record herself with a thermal.
Alright, she's recording herself with a thermal camera, okay.
The most terrifying videos that has been shared from this account.
Alright, let's see. Whoa, what the hell? This place is crazy.
Who is
Wow. Those look like claws. Those do not look like human hands. So then why did it stop randomly? Shouldn't it have kept doing stuff? But wow. Simply wow. If that's real,
During this clip, a young woman claims to have felt a chill run down her spine and
this can be done with a studio effect though. Like if you have a window open or a media window open, a source window of some kind.
belong to any human being. Fans were completely baffled as this footage appeared to
Crazy.
He only told me that he works as a security guard.
Alright, so we got a security guard. Alright. Sometimes these can be pretty good, sometimes they're just absolutely stupid, so let's go ahead and see. Speed it up. Come on now. Why are you going so slow? What am I supposed to be? See, this is. I don't like these kind. They're just absolutely a waste of time.
Tiny legs. Can you see it?
Okay. Yeah, whatever.
Being sent several times to guard an old.
Alright, I'm done. These ghosts. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. And whenever I get a CCTV camera, it just really turns me off on the whole thing. Because they're just dumb. Plain and simple. Do you guys see that new Area 52? That's a little wild. Oh, okay. There we go. I was a little confused. Alright. Um. Yeah, I didn't really get to see the ending of this. I fell asleep actually most of this. Um. Let's see, about 45 minutes
Army
in.
who worked in field artillery radar.
So they didn't have their faces covered. It was just their hair that was covered. But, vibrant colors, blues and purples and greens and gold and silver in their clothing. It was women dressed nicely, had come in with this, basic guy, beard, and as they were coming to the table, I noticed they had the most brilliant colored eyes, blues. Oh, and most of them had like a blue colored eyes, and one was slightly violet, almost purple. And it was like they were staring at me, and they had beautiful, beautiful eyes, a little bit larger than mine or yours, just a little bit, barely noticeable. But I just could not get over how bright and brilliant they were, and it was like mesmerizing almost. And they were just staring at me. And they walked right by the table, two of us. He's sitting across, from me, and he's just kind of glancing over like, why are they staring? And he didn't say it out loud, but he's thinking like, why are they staring at you, dude? Like, did you say something? I didn't say nothing. And then they just casually sat down. They didn't say a word the entire time that they were there. They never opened their mouth to speak. This guy ordered everything for them, and all they ate was vegetables. All they ate was vegetables. The guy, he ordered like lamb and some other stuff, and he got a coffee. They were just drinking water and eating vegetables. And it was weird for me, but why they were sitting there, they just kept staring at me. All the women
At the same time.
not at the same time, but at different times. They would look over at me and then look at each other and look over at me, almost like they were communicating without verbal communication, but communicating, nonverbal. And then I just kept hearing in my head, "Why are you here? Do you need help? What's your purpose? Like, why are you here?" I kept hearing this in my head. Nobody else could hear it. He couldn't hear anything. And he's sitting across from me, and we're trying to talk quietly, like, "Dude, they're not saying anything." It's like, I know they're not. Nothing's coming out of their mouth, And this guy already knows exactly what they want, and they're not speaking. And the guy's looking at them, and their eyes, they're looking back at each other. And then the guy's looking at me. I'm like, what did I do? Why are you staring at me so much? Do I look like an American that bad? I mean, yeah, I already know I don't fit in, but, I tend to just wear just plain regular clothes, try to blend in as much as possible. I don't want to stand out, as the American. And 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 you know, I don't want to stand out too bad
Yeah.
that night. You know, I wouldn't even plan on
Excuse
going
me.
out, you know, but I did. And it was just odd that they never said a word. The only one who spoke was the guy, and the guy just seemed normal.
And you kept getting psychic
I kept getting
interactions.
messages like, "Do you need help? Why are you here? What's your purpose? What's your purpose here?"
They sound curious.
And I'm hearing it in my head, but not audible.
And you asked your friend if he could hear it?
Is it, you hear that? I mean, I don't hear, they haven't said a word. It's been dead silent. Only he's been talking. He's like, that's all I've heard is him talking to, you know, to the waiter and stuff. And I was like, he's not hearing it in his head like I can. And so I'm like, okay, well, I don't want my friend to think I'm crazy. So I'm just going to keep this kind of to myself, but they're talking to me in my head, like asking me if I need help or anything. And I'm just, in the back of my mind, I'm not verbally saying it, but I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm good. You know, I'm just,
You're saying it
I'm
to them?
just, I'm saying it
I'm
in my
talking
head.
back.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to. I mean, I don't know if the message was received or not, but I'm thinking it in my head.
That's
Nope,
hilarious.
I'm good. I'm all right. Just gotta
Whoa.
wait a few more hours so I can go back to work. You know, I'm just saying that in my head. I'm not speaking it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's being
You don't know if it's
received.
being picked up. Yeah.
I don't know if it's being received, but I just kept getting like, do you need help? Do you need help?
I'm good.
Do you need
Quit
assistance?
Getting
You
in
know,
my
why are
head,
you
I
here?
feel good.
Man, she
What's your
said yes.
purpose?
Great.
She'd be like, yeah, help me out.
Yeah, it was a bit intimidating.
Yeah, I bet,
You know,
dude.
you know, you don't want to offend people in their own country. You
Oh
know,
my
you want
gosh,
to be
yeah.
as most respectful as possible. You know,
But also in that country, women are not staring at other men.
no, that's the other thing. You know, that was another thing that was throwing me off.
Did they look Arabic from their complexion? Did they look like
Yes.
Middle Eastern or
Yes,
like
they looked Middle Eastern. You know, like from
except with like light eyes?
very brilliant
So
eyes and almost flamboyant clothing.
It might be good.
Clothing, yeah.
Have
And
you guys
the
seen
other thing
this?
that I noticed is they all had purses with them on their shoulders.
Is that unusual?
No, it's not unusual for a woman to carry a purse, but they never took the purse off.
Right.
They were sitting down. They all had their purses still on their shoulders or draped over them. They never removed their purse. They never took it off and set it on the floor. They never rummaged through their purse. It just stayed there. And they continued to eat and drink.
Whoa.
And so it was just
That's a crazy detail.
stare at each other, look at another person and stare at them, look at me.
Yeah.
Like, and it was just like, what? And
Trying to fit in. Yeah, okay. So then they get up and leave. Is that it? They leave before you?
they left before us. So, I mean, they finished eating and drinking their water.
Yeah.
And he paid and they got up and were leaving, but they, as each one passed me by, they just staring me down. I mean, not aggressively, not I didn't feel
All right, so this guy is like sing Nordics. What is it? All right, encounter with hybrids. All right,
any sort of feeling or emotion behind it, and like nothing negative. Absolutely, nothing.
Curiosity or
Yeah, more or less with curiosity. And you know, when they walked by, they each looked at me with a pause, like they were, "You good? Are you okay?" You know, just kind of. I kept hearing in my head, "You good? You're all right." You know, that's the impression that I got. You know, as they walked out.
That's so
And
creepy.
They jumped in this little black SUV.
man, my mouth
and
is
took
dry.
off.
In a black SUV.
There's lots of them.
Yeah,
They're
okay,
all over the place out there. Yeah.
It's interesting. There's a book by a guy called Dr. David Jacobs, and he basically did a lot of regression on experiencers and wrote a book called Walking Among Us, which is essentially talking about like how these later stage hybrids are kind of like hiding in plain sight, but also not too familiar with how to be.
You know, I wonder if the original human alien hybrids or NHI hybrids were the ones that are the tridactyl ones that were found in Peru and are being examined now, found in like 2017 and 2024, something like that. I wouldn't doubt if those are the first ones at all.
Human quite yet.
Right.
And they're kind of learning from us. And so I hear a lot of these quirky stories of them emulating what people would do, but not entirely getting it right.
Right.
And so one of those instances might be like keeping your purse on the whole time you're eating. Like,
Right.
it's such a dumb detail.
Yeah.
But it's an important detail to fit in. you know, but like to teach that, if you're teaching someone how to be human, you're like, oh yeah, you go out, you leave your purse. You don't always, maybe you forget to mention, oh yeah, while you're eating, put your purse on the ground, pick it back up before you leave.
Right.
Like these are just small details that I can see someone overlooking who's trying to assimilate and trying to look human, you know, or
right.
there was another story that Nick Pope was here, and he got a call about this group of people looking very strange, and they all get together to buy a single pencil at an art store with like a big denomination bill.
Right.
A single pencil, and they're all kind of like looking, and then the lady's like gives them their change, and they didn't know what to do with the change. They didn't know what to, like, and so like there's this interaction like, ooh, we're gonna go buy a pencil. That's what humans do, or whatever, and then not know that what is this? What are they giving me? Like having no concept of like that.
Yes.
So you hear
I'm showing I want this one thing, but you're giving me a bunch of things back. Well,
yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah, they're all buying one. Like it makes no sense, and she was so scared that she ended up calling like the UFO hotline or whatever.
Yeah, when you got a group of people all standing in line to buy one pencil,
throws you off.
That would throw out some red flags in your brain quite a bit. You know,
it just feels uncanny.
More people, yes, we're only here to buy this one pencil. That's very simple.
It was like 10 people. It was like a lot.
It was a whole bunch.
Yeah, it was like a whole bunch of people.
Like we're all here to buy this one pencil.
Yeah, exactly.
That's wild. Yeah,
it's
wild.
But you read a lot about those type of interactions where you're like, man, it's just you're just adjacent to being a normal person, but there's something off. There's like some uncanny valley happening.
There's something glaring right in your face.
Holding that purse the entire time.
And so the purse the whole time was something that just threw me off.
Yep.
It was like protected with that one arm the entire time. Like nothing can happen to this purse. It must stay right on me this entire time. Almost like it was a life support thing.
You know what's funny?
You know what I mean?
Wow.
There's probably nothing in that purse.
There could be nothing.
They're probably just like, trying to look human, be like, I need this purse, but
or maybe it's something to protect themselves with.
Maybe
because they're not familiar with human interaction.
Yeah,
they're not familiar with Muslim way of things.
Sure,
and especially women do not stare at men like that. You know, with their faces uncovered.
Yeah,
and
they didn't look drunk or anything, did they? Or like
no, they
like 2 in the morning. What are you doing?
They were sitting upright, perfect posture,
oh,
staring at each other, very casually eating. You know, not rushing, not sipping their water with elegance. You know, staring at me, and not just staring. When they walk by, they stopped walking. And were staring at me, just in a more mesmerized, questioning way.
So freaky.
You don't do that over there. That's not a common behavior. It's a behavior that really stands out, is uncommon there. So, and I was trying to avoid staring back, so I was like,
yeah. It's awkward.
I don't want to offend anybody, but it was wild. It was so wild. And the guy that was with them,
please stop examining.
He was not in charge of them whatsoever. He was just there to help. And that's another characteristic that jumped out at me, because usually men are in control of everything.
I see
over there. With a group of women.
He was also Middle Eastern.
Yes.
Man, I've had bad acid reflux.
That's something that was uncommon to me, because usually when let's say a coworker or a boss takes some of the ladies out for a dinner, he's in charge. He's both protecting them, feeding them, and is usually in charge of the situation.
Yeah, a bit of a chaperone type deal. Or
he seemed like he was being chaperoned by them.
Oh, weird.
Like they were in charge, but not saying a word. He ordered everything for them, but they didn't say a word. It was like I never heard their voice.
Maybe they were controlling him.
Besides in my head, but it was all the same in my head,
They just grabbed some random human and they're like, we're hungry. And
you're going to
order for us.
You're going to do exactly what we asked,
Hey, it's not a bad deal. 3 beautiful Middle Eastern women taking you out to them, or 4. Yeah. I mean, hey.
It was wild.
Might be a good time. That's crazy. Gosh. That's wild. These interactions fascinate me to no extent.
You never really know when you're next to a human hybrid, I guess, or alien human hybrid.
As these messages that you're receiving go on, do you feel
Are you writing them all down?
I have, yes.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Not all of them?
I mean, I do at times have moments where I just need to take a break from it, you know? It's hard to imagine, but it's
taxing.
It's taxing on your you don't want to lose touch with yourself as well. You know what I mean? And so there's times where I just didn't, you know, write them down. It was like, okay. Or maybe in my perspective of things, this is not that important right now. You know, I got other things going on. And then they seem to slow down a little bit during those times. And then when I'm ready to start writing things down again, it picks up again, you know, at times. So
do you ever try communicating back?
Just thinking.
Do you ever get answers to what you're thinking?
Sometimes.
Interesting.
But very seldom.
What's an example of an answer you've gotten back?
Like, hey, I've got a lot of things going on right now. You know, I have a kid getting ready to graduate. I've got some things going on. I don't have time for this right now. And then it was just calm down. Just calm down for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's just thinking through some of this stuff. I've asked, can you give me some more direct answers that are helpful? Something that I can articulate down, write down, and it's like epiphany for everybody. So you cut to the chase and just give me the answer.
Yeah, stop giving me like some wild goose chase.
Leave the cryptics out. Just give me the straight answer. No. And I get a response that's like, no, you have to be educated to that level. And so that's the impression that I get, that this happens for a reason, and it has to happen in the steps that it's happening in. And so they're not going to give you a straight answer. They're going to educate you to get that straight answer in time.
You feel like you're progressing.
I feel like I always feel like.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah, he's like progressing in different stages of this whole messaging back and forth telekinesis type deal. That's interesting as heck.
Like it's progressing.
Whoa.
But progressing, not fast, but at the pace that it's supposed to progress at, you know?
Whoa.
Yes. I've asked that specifically. Just give me the answer. Just let me solve it. Let me put it out there. Let me get it out there. No, it doesn't work that way.
Do you feel like they're holding things back from you?
I do at times.
What do you think?
I don't think it's anything bad.
No,
I think it's more along the lines of you need
to know basis.
You need to understand things the way they work in order for it to progress further. We need to ease you into things.
Huh.
Because, you know, it's already like a super mind. Yeah, I'm a military. I cuss a lot, and I don't want to keep.
No, you're good.
This is good. It's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, it blows your freaking mind,
dude.
And if they just threw everything at me at once, I mean, who knows what would happen to my mental state? So
yeah,
maybe this is a way to protect myself. You know, that they're gradually sharing stuff, because I believe that progression is needed. And then I specifically asked, just give me the answer. No, we won't do it that way.
Do you think you were chosen? Like from like a young age, do you think that you've been selected?
A lot of strange things happened when I was a child, and we talked about this last night. My parents were still together. My mom and dad were still married. I was about 4. And it was a time when I was about 4 years old where I started waking up in different parts of the house. And it freaked my parents out when I wasn't in bed when they go to wake me up for school, and they couldn't find me. I was under the bed, because sometimes I would go under the bed, you know, and sleep under there because I was afraid. I don't know what I was afraid of, but I was drawing a lot of pictures that my mom took away and hidden, because I believe I was drawing, grays. And she didn't want our community, our neighborhood, to think that we were crazy people.
Drawing alien grays at about 4 years old. No, that's insane. That's intense.
So she hid a lot of that. But I was sleeping under the bed because I was afraid when I was going to bed when I was little. You know, I'm 4-year-old, seeing weird things. Yeah, it could bother you.
Yeah.
But they would go in to wake me up, and I wouldn't be in bed. I wouldn't be in the room. They would find me in the garage sleeping like on some laundry that hadn't been washed yet.
Hmm.
They would find me on the back porch, locked out of the house. They would find me in random places around the house and outside of the house that I wouldn't, they'd go out and wake me up on. I've fallen asleep in a toy box on my
So
back
it's like
porch.
going on 3
You know,
o'clock.
how can a kid sleep on toys? I don't know. Kids can sleep in weird places.
Hmm.
They can sleep hanging off of a bed sometimes. So, yeah, that's when they started putting locks on the windows so that they couldn't be opened. And that's when things started to pick up. And there was one time where my dad was concerned and slept outside of my room. And because they would lock us in the room, me and my brother, they would lock me and my brother in the room because they thought I was sleepwalking. And so my dad grabbed a chair, put it outside our bedroom door, you know, tucked us in, and we went to bed. And I'd hear him outside the door. Y'all stop laughing. Y'all stop cutting up. Go to sleep. Go to bed. And so we'd stop talking and eventually fall asleep. Well, this particular time, he was sleeping outside of the door, and he had gotten up a couple of times to stand up and stretch his legs and then lay back down and get comfortable and go back to sleep. But this morning, they go and unlock the door to go wake us up, and I'm not there.
Hmm.
Well,
Went out the window.
the windows are all locked.
Hmm.
I've been locked in my room, but I'm not in there, and they couldn't find me for a while. I believe it was like 30, 45 minutes. They're starting to lose their mind. They called the police.
Up in the attic.
They thought I had been kidnapped, but there's no way anybody could have gotten in. They don't know how I disappeared. And so they're looking everywhere. And when the police show up, they're taking information. There's a couple police officers that were there from what I remember. And as some of them started to go scour the road or the area, one of them walked by my dad's car and saw my foot hanging out from some of my dad's work clothes. And I had fallen asleep inside my dad's locked car in the back seat.
What?
I was sleeping in the back seat of my dad's car under some of his work coats. He was a security guard at the time. He was one of his jackets I was sleeping under. And they were trying to get the door unlocked. My dad was looking for his keys. He found his keys and they unlocked the door and got me out. How'd you get in here? The door's been locked. And my dad found his keys like in the closet where he keeps them up top, where he keeps his hats and stuff. He just puts his keys up there, easy for him to grab.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I couldn't reach that at 4 years old. And I couldn't lock myself in and go back and put the keys back. You know, I ended up in a locked car.
Out of your locked room.
Out of a locked room. Yeah, in the back seat of my dad's car at 4 years old.
You think you were abducted?
You know, that's the impression that I get.
Mm-hmm.
And it screams that, but you know,
no confirmation.
I can't prove that. I'm not going to try to prove it. I'm just going to point out that, you know, my mom brought this up and she said it bothered her and she was worried and she was pretty freaked out at this point. And so, you know, she told me she was praying and doing a lot of things, trying to get some help, and it eventually stopped. You know, it stopped happening and everybody like calmed down, you know.
Wow, it was a real ordeal.
It was quite a while. It was
like with the police involved and everything. That's
this was like
incredible.
A 1 month time frame or so in my young
terrifying.
Child. Yeah, 4 years old.
But you do have some proof of something, and that proof you have in you, I would say.
Yes. Okay, I see where you're getting at with this. So it wasn't a while back. I sometime 2021. He has
implants in him.
Right after I retired from the military, and I was going through my BA stuff and we were looking for a house to buy, place to settle down.
I'll have to come back to this later. Very, very interesting. I wish that gosh darn Godzilla would get off of here. I don't want to finish watching the movie. Oh man. I'm tired. I still have to play this game. I have a game. I'll be back.